Welcome to another video of how Deepwoken has ruined a concept. I think I'm going to make this a series and it's just going to follow my analysis on various fundamental features in Deepwoken that I think could be improved. The first version of this video went well, so I think I should bring attention to more things in Deepwoken that could use a bit more love. If you guys enjoy, like and subscribe so you can hit the juicy 3K mark that much sooner. And without any further ado, here's my thoughts on Deepwoken's lack of identity with bosses, boss loot, and boss drops. So Deepwoken has a couple of bosses within its game, each typically serving a different purpose. Kaido gives you Ardor, Duke gives you some XP and uncaps your attunement, Etheron allows you to leave with Kirsten medallions after you take them, which can be traded with Claris, and Ferryman, he's there. He's helping out. My problem with bosses right now is that their loot and certain methods for their existence don't really feel fully fleshed out to me, and I'm going to give you an example. So let's take a look at Duke as our first example. You go down an elevator and you fight off guards protecting a door, then down a really short hallway into his lab where the boss fight begins. It's not what I would really call a dungeon or hell even a manor, because a manor is typically described as a really big house, and all we get are two hallways and a door with an elevator. It's not a whole lot to go off of. The shit's like a one-bedroom apartment at best. Now, while the Duke's theme is very clear and his aesthetic makes sense, his dungeon, or lack thereof, makes for a very boring and uninteresting area to repeatedly go back into. To help kind of support my point, I'm going to use an example from another much older game. So, World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft's dungeons are larger and more expansive, often taking at least half an hour to complete, with several mini-bosses along the way for you to defeat, unique loot, and then a final boss or final gimmick that you need to go deal with. Now luckily, Deepwoken has been improving upon their boss drops. Duke just got Stoneheart, it gives you some cool lore, but the chest that they have, that Duke has, is basically useless. Just about nobody looks in there unless they're looking for Idols of Yunshol, Smith's Alloy. Everything else is kind of just discarded, which I don't think makes much sense, and kind of just de-incentivizes the player to go back there after killing him to uncap your attunement. So here's my idea that could help maybe improve that. So for bosses like the Duke, we add some more rare gear back to it. Maybe Iron Sings, some Stardusters to kind of signify his travels to the depths and just give him a bit more oomph to his loot, as well as guaranteeing that some of this better gear that we'll see is at least 1 star, so you're not feeling as locked out of RNG for the gear that you get. It gives PvE players a reason to farm this boss without making it feel like a one and done otherwise. You may think that Stoneheart makes it reasonable for people to farm Duke, but why should we exclude and leave out chest loot from this? It's just as important, if not more. So let's make it better for everybody. Ferryman has an alright thing already going for him. He has a clear gimmick, some special loot attached to him, but for the love of God, please replace his earring chests so he can have something a bit more useful going on there. Give him a couple earrings, but I don't need a whole fucking jewelry collection off of 2 Ferrymans. But, Ferryman, he's alright. Let's talk about the boss that's been done dirty the worst. Primadon. Alright, so Primadon was done really dirty. He has what I've called the worst loot in the game, not really offering players much of any reason at all to visit him. Now, he was toned down from his Chad size due to lag issues. They just wanted him weaker. Don't believe them at all, guys. His loot chests aren't really anything to be impressed with, and has a ton of just random low to mid-level gear, with the occasional starred Forgotten Gladius and maybe an enchant, and rarely a legendary weapon. And to top all of that off, he has a cooldown of over 15 minutes. You're making me wait over 15 minutes for some mid-ass loot? I could do a Lair 2 run and end up getting a curd from Etheron in that time. That's 3 stars. My point here is that Primadon's summoning CG should probably be removed, as well as adding some more rare items into his loot pool and giving players more of a reason to actually attempt to farm him. Probably Ignition Deep Crusher and Curved make the most sense that Primadon would be offering to players if you went and farmed him. And if you guys made it this far, congratulations. I hope you enjoyed this rant. Hopefully I can go into the tester Discord and get some of these changes pushed, and I hope you guys will stick around for more of this series to come. If you guys liked it, like, subscribe, and join the community. But that's all, and I'll see you guys later.